Hello, good people. Thank you so much for checking out my channel. Happy 4th of July. I hope you guys are enjoying the extended weekend. Did you get invited to the cookouts? Did you cook out? Did you give invitations to your cookout? Either way, I hope everything is going well for all of you guys. I did go to the cookout. I got invited. I enjoyed the cookout. Family and friends, always a good thing. But it's always good to be back home. Happy at home. All right, so this is a recap of the Real Housewives, the Ultimate Girls Trip. This is season 2, and this is currently on Peacock. It's not on Bravo as of yet. I'm not sure how long it would take to get to Bravo. I kind of feel that Bravo and Peacock are pretty much all the same. It's just like extended streaming services from Bravo, and they're charging $4.99 for the subscription. However, I want to say that if you are not already signed up for Peacock, that you can get a free trial. I have to look into it, but I think you can. I think when I signed up for Peacock months ago, when Will Smith's show The Fresh Prince came out, it was a free trial, and then after the free trial, it turned into $4.99 a month. And I just never got around to canceling the subscription. And I'm kind of happy that I didn't as of today, because this season 2, The Real Housewives, The Ultimate Girls Trip, this is great. This is so awesome. When I say good TV, this is good TV. Whoever came up with this concept of getting the different housewives together to go on a girls trip, especially the ex-housewives, which they have on season 2, awesome. Bravo, bravo, bravo to that person, to or the group of people, whoever. And they definitely should get bonuses on this one, because this is a winner. Season 2 is so much better than season 1. Trust me, guys, check it out if you have not. And if you have, if you would please leave a comment and let me know if you guys think the same thing. But I think this is so good. There are like 4 episodes out already on Peacock of season 2. And so with season 2, the ex-housewives that they have, the cast of people, we have Dorinda and Jill Zarian from New York. From California, from the OC, we have Tamara and we have Vicky. And then also from California, Beverly Hills, we have Taylor and we have Brandy Glanville. And out of Atlanta, ATL Shawty, we have Eva and we have Phaedra. So now I'm wondering, since Nene sued the network and Andy Cohen, and I think I saw something where they're coming to some type of agreement, so they're probably gonna pay her out. I wonder if we would ever see Nene on the Ex-Housewives. Because that probably been good too. You know, Nene's always turning up. That'll be interesting. Okay, so on this season 2 with the ex-housewives, they're going to the Berkshires, which is out to Dorinda's place, the Blue Stone Manor. So if you watch Real Housewives of New York, you're already familiar with Dorinda's place that's out in the Berkshires. I think it's like somewhere in Massachusetts. I'm not really familiar with Massachusetts. But of course, you find out more information when you watch the show. I don't remember that detail of it besides it being Massachusetts. And I recall Eva was very excited about going to Massachusetts, because she was like, that's a place where the weed is legal. So she's excited about getting her smoke on. So I know it's Massachusetts. I was like, oh, the weed is legal there. I don't smoke, but it's just interesting. You never know. You might travel with some people and they want to indulge. Whew. So Dorinda's the host. She's already out there. She's putting everything in place for the ladies as far as fixing up their bedrooms. She has her staff there. She even has a butler by the name of Marcos that's going to be there to help her with the ladies, you know, to help host the ladies. So, of course, we see, not only do we see Dorinda getting prepared within the house, we also see the ladies getting prepared and traveling to the house. So, Tamara and Vicky, they are traveling together, of course, out of the OC. And then we have Taylor that comes, and also Brandy is traveling along. So we see Tamara and and Vicky traveling together from the OC. And then we also see Phaedra and Eva from Atlanta traveling together. But Taylor and Brandy, they don't travel together. And they do have a little history where they were not getting along when they filmed together on their shows. So maybe that's why they separated them and didn't have them arrive to the home together. But the first people that got to the house was Tamara and Vicky. Oh, and Jill Zarian, she's gonna come, but she doesn't come on the first episode. And the only person that knows that Jill is coming is the renter. So it's supposed to be like a surprise for whatever reason. So the other ladies have no idea that Jill is coming, and she doesn't come the first day. It's revealed later that she's a Jew and she has some type of religious activity or holiday that she had to participate in. So that's why she wasn't there the first day when all the other ladies arrived. Tamara, Vicky, they arrived first to the house. And Vicky's not feeling very well. She seems to be congested, stuffy, or whatever. And also Vicky, she's just been dumped by her fiance that she's been engaged to for some time. He just, according to her, out the blue just said that, they can't go on anymore. So she's down in the dumps about that, and then she gets even more down in the dumps when they're headed towards the Berkshires because everything looks so country, and she doesn't see anywhere that she can whoop it up at. Whoop it up to her means to party. So her and Tamara get to the house first, and they're greeted by Dorinda. Dorinda, of course, she's telling them about her house rules. No shoes upstairs, no foods in the room. And she also shared this with the other ladies when they get there too. She even had plaques made in each room as a reminder to let the ladies know about her rules. No eating in my rooms, damn it. I need to get a plaque because me and Dorinda, we see eye to eye. Like, I don't like people eating in my rooms either. It causes bugs. And people, even though they are adults, they will forget to put it in the trash. I don't want to go in the room cleaning up behind you. I'm already going in there to dust. I don't want to go in there and find a Coke can. I don't want to go in there and find an empty bag of chips. And then some people are so freaking rude. They would take the stuff and they would stick it down in your furniture. You pulling the mattress out or you lifting up a cushion and then you're going to find a cookie or some crackers. Or you'll find a whole bag, empty bag that they just took because they was too lazy to get up and put it in the trash. They put it up on the cushion and sat on it. It's stupid. People can be rude as hell. Anyway, so Dorinda is serious about it. And she even explains it later. I understand. Like, she's not necessarily the person cleaning up. Even her housekeeper that comes and clean up, that's disrespectful and rude to her. Especially when it's not little kids. Let me get off of that. I guess that's something I can film about later. About people and their rude ass. So anyway, Dorinda, she has a chance to sit outside with Tamara and Vicky, and they chatted up a little bit, catch up for a few minutes. And Vicky, she's concerned about finding somewhere to whoop it up and asking Dorinda about what's it to do out there, where can they go? And Dorinda was like, oh, we're gonna do everything here. Everything's here, Dorinda doesn't see a problem. She loves her home. She loves the comfort of her home. And Vicky, she's so concerned about trying to go to a club and whoop it up or whatever. And she was like, well, we'll have time for that maybe, And so they get to the point where they talk about Vicky's breakup. I think Tamara lets it out that Vicky boyfriend, fiance broke up with her or whatever and all that stuff. And that she's down in the dumps about that. And so Dorinda asked Vicky if she saw any signs when last time they had sex, and she was like 13 months. He was living in a different house, all that stuff. And Dorinda was like, all right, well, bye to him. All that stuff was going on. All right, so then I'm sorry. I want to say maybe Taylor comes next, and then we have Phaedra and Eva. They all come, and then eventually Brandy gets there too. I think Brandy was the last to show up, so they're like having lunch or whatever. And Eva, she's really excited and fanning out with Vicky, because Eva's been invested just as I have as far as watching the Real Housewives for such a long time, and she's an actual fan. She admits that she is. And so she's watched Vicky, and that she knows that Vicky is like one of the originals. She is an original housewife, you know, and all that. And she's saying how good Vicky looks. And I'm like, okay, girl, you really haven't been looking. You have not really been watching these Real Housewives shows and paying attention, because I mean, yeah, she does look good, but the way she was carrying on, it's like, Eva, you know that lady don't had a million surgeries. You know she's reconstructed her face so many times. I mean, they even like one season they talked about her face so much. What was his name? I want to say his name was Slade. One of the ladies, I can't remember her name at the time, but he talked about her so bad and calling her Miss Piggy and all that stuff, because she's had many bad surgeries. Like, she looks really good now though. She does look good, but the way Eva was carrying on, she was acting like it was natural, and even referenced the black to my, oh, it's kind of like the black don't crack. That don't mean that black don't crack, especially when it's like with a black person, as it refers to a black person. That's when you are natural. It's natural. Eating healthy, exercising, things like that, or just naturally, good genes. Not from having all those different surgeries, okay? Vicky looks better. She looks good, but it's not natural. She paid for it, okay? So calm down, Eva. Calm down, please. Thank you. Ugh. And the best part, one of the key things on this season is Phaedra. Phaedra needs to get a bonus. And Eva too, but Phaedra definitely needs to get a bonus. Because Phaedra, she makes all kind of faces. Hilarious. And it go and it just fits right in. So, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I know what. She is just she could, I mean, her expressions, her mumbling, her talking under her breath, they're capturing all of this in the narration of this show, and it's just everything. It adds to it. It is everything. I love it. And she's on time for everything. It applies. It goes well. And the same with Eva too, but more with Phaedra. So they all come and they're all at the table, and everyone's there except for Jill's gonna come the next day. As I mentioned, she's a Jew. She's at one of her holidays. She's celebrating one of her holidays. So, of course, everyone can pick up on Vicky's negative vibe. She's really like down in the dumps about her man breaking up with her. And they also asked her, well, did she give back the ring? And she was like, no, I didn't give back the ring. That might have been early on. I'm sorry. But yeah, she was like, no, I didn't give back the ring. And they was like, well, I thought that was the rule. Anytime you wasn't going to move forward with the wedding, that you would give back the ring. But then kind of find out she didn't give back the ring because she bought the damn ring herself. She said that she didn't like the ring that he had originally picked out, and I guess he couldn't afford what she really wanted, so she bought what she wanted. That's rude in itself. You should have already known that wasn't going to work. I was watching something else, and the woman did that. She didn't even get a guy a chance to go buy a ring. She just went and bought her own ring because she didn't feel that he had enough money to afford the ring she wanted. Is it really about the ring or about the damn marriage? Goodness. Ugh. That's probably why that didn't go nowhere for real. Like, not the only reason, but that was a key sign. Come on. It was interesting though. I was like, okay, I guess that's what's going on now. I wonder if R.C. Blake's, if you guys get a chance, listen to R.C. Blake's Jr. I wonder if he would touch on that. I'm going to have to message him about a woman buying her own engagement and wedding rings just because she don't feel the guy can afford the ring. It wouldn't even take a ring if the guy, to me, if he really loves you and if you love him and you know his situation, you know his bank account and everything, of course you want him to be making money. He has to be able to pay bills and things like that. But as far as a ring, It really shouldn't matter. It's something material. That's sad. I hope my son never have to deal with anything like that. I don't think he would. I hope not, because that's sad. So, they talk about all of that on the show, just really crazy. But Vicky reveals that she didn't give the ring back because she bought the ring her damn self. Okay, so keep your ring. Marry yourself. So, also, Brandy, they're all at the table now. So Brandy takes it upon herself. She wants to go ahead and, you know, hash things out with Taylor, which was pretty much too early on. And Brandy had already started drinking. She was like the main person that was really putting them back. And so with her drinking, she's already like lit. But she tells Taylor that the season that she filmed with her was the worst for her, for Brandy. And they was like, what do you mean was the worst for you? And she said, well, that's the season that her husband killed herself. And they was like, yeah, but why would that be the worst for you? And she was saying like that was a lot for her to endure and for her to be around. They was like, but that had nothing to do with you. That was her. That was her husband. So they were not getting what Brandy was saying. And Brandy, she shouldn't have said it like that. And so Brandy calls and then Taylor was saying that Brandy pretty much had attacked her because Brandy was like, had brought up about Taylor. I think at their reunion for that season, Brandy was saying that Taylor was too soon with coming out a book about the things that had happened regarding her husband and about the domestic abuse and everything. And so Taylor was like, well, I had to. This is what I was told to do, and this is what I had to do. She was trying to get an advancement with the book because that's what she was using to support her and her family. I think she only has one daughter, Kennedy. And so the other lady was like, yeah, she had to do what she had to do. That was her, her livelihood. And I don't think she would get any money from him killing himself since it was a suicide, something considered, so, he killed himself. And so it comes to where Brandy calls Taylor a bitch. And Brandy, bitch, is so rude. She's like, bitch. And he was like, oh no, don't call her that. Don't say that. And especially Vicky. Vicky was trying to take her for Taylor. And so then Brandy tells Vicky to shut the fuck. She tells her to shut the fuck up. So Vicky was like, what? What? You're not going to talk to me that way. You're not going to talk to me that way. And so there we go into season 2, episode 2. And with that, Vicky's telling Brandy not to talk to her that way. And that, they're going on. And Brandy's still trying to explain herself. And they telling, Brandy is really lit. So they telling Brandy she just need to go lay down. She need to go sit down. She gets up and she goes and, she goes lay down or whatever. So while they are sitting outside, later on we see the ladies, except for Brandy because she's laying down. She had to go lay down because she was too hot, too turned up. And while they're sitting outside, Vicky, she's very stuffy, so she's like all congested, sniffing, all that kind of stuff, even saying she doesn't feel good. And then they get to the topic about the vaccination, and they find out that Vicky has not been vaccinated. Now, my girl Phaedra is sitting beside Vicky. They're all like trying to get to know each other and everything. Phaedra's sitting beside Vicky. She hears that she hadn't been vaccinated. Phaedra's like, what? I was under the impression that everybody that came out here had been checked. She's saying this in her confessional. So it's really funny because just imagine going somewhere with a group of people, and we've been through a pandemic, people. I'm like that now too. We've been through a pandemic, and you're going somewhere with a group of people, especially that's not your family, and you're just thinking that this organization, this company that have you guys traveling together, of course they've tested everyone, but you also think maybe it's required to be vaccinated. So just Phaedra's comments and her expressions tells it all. I was so tickled. It was ridiculous. It was just so tickled. And then Tamra, she's saying in her confession, like, we, talking about the vaccination is pretty much talking like about politics and religion. It can really start a strong argument. And that's exactly what happened. Dorinda loses her shit. Dorinda, she hears Vicky say that she has not been vaccinated and that she's against it. And she just goes crazy on Vicky. And at this time, Dorinda's also had a little too much to drink. So she is all the way live. And Vicky's saying that she knows someone that was vaccinated and died from it. And Dorinda starts yelling at her, telling her that she's lying about that and that she needs to send her proof. And when she brings proof, that's when a unicorn's gonna show up outside. It was funny. That lady was flipping out. She flipped out bad on Vicky. And you can really tell that she had too much to drink because she started slurring. And Dorinda, even when she was on New York, and I'm quite sure this is why Andy called her and told her they was going to take a pause on her ass, because she was drinking too much. And when she gets too much in her, she starts slurring real bad. And I've seen plenty of sloppy drunks, and she turns into a sloppy drunk. Sorry, Dorinda. I do like you. And I guess it's just difficult for other people to show you and tell you, but that's what it is. And that's probably why they put a pause on you. And a lot of the women were even like raising their eyebrows. And in a sense, they tried to tell you, but they were not blunt with you. You cannot drink, baby. No, because she really gets sloppy drunk and she started slurring. And she went crazy on Vicky till Vicky got to the point she was like, you're right, yeah, you're right, it didn't happen. You're right, I'm sorry, like, what? And then Vicky's like, in her confessional, she said she would never treat anyone the way Dorinda's treating her at her house. Yeah, Dorinda goes on the deep end. I don't like Vicky, but yeah, Dorinda, she did go on the deep end about that whole vaccination thing. It was crazy. Dorinda does come out later and she apologized to Vicky, but it's like, it happened now. It happened, so it's crazy. All right, so the next day, they have a schedule every day. So Dorinda, she has an itinerary that she has the butler Marcos, and he's funny too. The little things that he does, and even the way the ladies talk to him and all that is really funny. So every morning, Dorinda has an agenda, and she has the butler to slide up under their doors or whatever, so they'll know what they were doing for the day. So that next day, they have a pedicure that's planned and it's going to be outside. So while they're outside having their pedicures and everything, that's when Jill Zarin shows up, and she tried to recreate the scene from when she was on Real Housewives of New York many seasons ago. And she showed up to a location where all the ladies were like sitting out chilling and everything, but the ladies gave her like the cold shoulder. They really didn't want her there. I forgot the whole backstory about what was going on, but especially Ramona and Sonia, they were like looking at each other like, why the hell did she even come? What's she here for? And so she tried to recreate that whole scene while the ladies were out there having their pedicures, and she walked over and she was like, surprise, and they was just like, who is that, what's going on, what's she doing all that for, so it was wasted. But she comes and joined the ladies and all that. Excuse me, I had a milkshake that I shouldn't have had. And Vicky's still being a Debbie Downer, and she's not feeling well. And later on, the ladies, they have a sound bath. Nobody knows what a sound bath is, or even if they knew, they didn't care about it. But they are all outside, and while they are participating in the exercise, Vicky, out of all of the ladies, she gets up and she walks off saying that she had calls to make. She didn't really care for the sound bath. And I guess I think she even covered her ears or something like that. Or maybe it was Taylor, but anyway, Brandy. But anyway, Vicky, she gets up, she walks off, and she decides not to participate. Very rude, but it happened. And then later, we also see Eva and Taylor. They sit down together and they bond over their issues, their horrific experiences with domestic abuse. As I mentioned before, Taylor's husband had committed suicide. And Eva, she also had shared that she had been in a very, very domestic relationship. I think it had even been like out in the news outlets and stuff like that about the things that she had been going through with her first child's father. All right, so later on that night, the ladies go to this place called Ventford Hall, and they're going there to do a coffee reading, and that's where the lady do some type of spiritual reading for them based on the coffee. And so when they get to the place, you could hear Brandy saying that the chef is gay. And then when they're seated at the table, there's commotion because Vicky is apologizing to the sous chef. And it's because Brandy asked the sous chef if he was married to the woman who was the chef. And the guy said yes. And then Brandy was like, oh, I thought she was gay. So it just turned into like a little confusion and everything. And Brandy saying that she thought the lady was gay because of the way her eyebrows were. And it was like, what she mean by that? And so Faye was like, I need to check out and see how my eyebrows are because I'm strictly dickly. I don't want nobody to get it confused or whatever. So she ends up cursing, saying the bitch word again. And she's just so rude when she says the bitch word, and it flies out of her mouth, and it's really driving Vicky and Tamara crazy, and also Taylor, but more Vicky and Tamara. They're like going nuts about it. All right, so that was episode 1 and episode 2. There are 2 more episodes out there that I will recap. You guys, as I mentioned before, it's a really great series so far. This season 2 of The Real Housewives Ultimate Girl Trip. Great job, Bravo, with putting together this group of housewives. They is awesome, really awesome. So I will have a recap of episode 3 and episode 4. So we will see where things will probably get a little better for Brandy and the other ladies, but Brandy really has to work on the way she deliver her bitches. Her bitch, she need to calm down saying bitch. She really need to just stop saying bitch. And it's really like cute the way that Eva and Paige was trying to tame her in, but you can also see that Tamara and Vicky, they're on her case anyway, just cause, I guess. I don't know. I think those ladies just like to be heard, like to make noise, like whoever can make the most noise, that makes them more relevant or whatever. So it's very interesting. So we will see what's to come. Thank you guys so much for checking out my channel. I hope you continue to have a great day. Bye.